So we will start off with a short icebreaker. And Sarah, can you go to slide 2, please? Thank you. So you'll be paired up for about 5 minutes to discuss the following. First, you're going to introduce yourself with your name, your pronouns, your role in GlobeMed, and then tell your partner what you are looking forward to in the coming month. And this can be anything that you would like that you are excited for. Yeah, the next month going into September, our last little bit of summer before it transitions to fall. So with that, Sarah will stop sharing the screen. And we will be getting you into your breakout rooms shortly. All right, I feel like we have all made it back. I know that was a quick introductory period, but don't worry, the majority of our time today will be spent in a breakout room. So you'll definitely get to know more people here. So for the next 30 minutes, what we're going to do is to explore some case studies together. So we have 3 facilitators who'll be helping guide conversation around these studies, but these are really there to open up discussion, to look at the situation and think about what stands out to you and what lessons can be learned from them. So I'm going to go slide by slide to show you the 4 case studies that we have. While you have 30 minutes, don't feel like you need to rush through all 4. We have 4, so there's a variety, but you can spend as much time as you want for each case study that you want to explore as a group. So I encourage you, when you enter your breakout room, decide which one you want to start with, and then allow conversation to guide you. Right. So our first case study is that a member of your chapter comes to you because they are feeling overwhelmed in their role. For the past 2 years, this student has served as the director of fundraising. While they enjoy their time in GlobeMed, they also have a full-time job and other school priorities. They do not feel like they can step away from their role because they hold so much institutional chapter knowledge. And so the questions, these 3 questions below, I'll read them, but they'll be applied to all of the scenarios. They are: what stands out to you in this case study? What are the root causes of the issue at hand? What power dynamics, if any, are at play? And what would be your first steps in addressing the situation? And what GlobeMed values and leadership practices would guide you? So case study number 2 is: your chapter is planning a day-long event on campus for World Day of Social Justice. At the start of the planning process, chapter members were paired up and assigned different tasks. Each team was trusted to complete their parts. In one of the pairs, member A noticed that their teammate, member B, was not completing their parts of the assignment. Member A decided to complete the whole task themselves. Clearly frustrated, member A brought the situation to the other chapter members on the planning committee, and collectively, without member B in the room, they made the decision to not include member B in the campus event. Member B was notified of this decision by email 2 days before the event. Okay, now case study 3. At a holiday bonding event, you notice that only executive board members and senior members of the chapter are present. When you follow up with a newer chapter member to ask why they weren't able to make it, they tell you that they didn't think the invite was really meant for them. And finally, our 4th case study is: in February, a chapter member notices that the number of students who show up to weekly meetings has dropped significantly since the start of the academic year. They suggest to the co-presidents that other student orgs on campus use a point system to encourage members to show up to meetings. One co-president thinks a point system is a great idea, and the other co-president does not. They communicate to the chapter member that they need more time to think about it. All right. So like I said, you will have 30 minutes in a breakout room with a facilitator. And I encourage you to, again, like look back over the case studies and choose which one you want to start off with. So at this time, Sarah is getting our rooms together. And your breakout room option will show up shortly. All right. Everyone made it back to the main room. So yeah, it was exciting to drop in on the rooms and listen to what was being discussed. From my listening, it sounded like case 1 and case 2 were the two of the favorite ones for discussion. So we're going to take some time. We're going to do some reflecting together. And so I have 3 questions here on the slide. I'm going to read them. However, if you are moved to share anything specific about a case study, we can dive into that as well. So the first question is there any overall reflections from these case studies that you gathered? Were there any themes that came up as you discussed these case studies? And did any case study or studies spark action for the work you and your peers will be doing moving forward? So with that, I want to open it up if anyone wants to share verbally or in the chat. Was there a case study that stood out to anyone that was discussed in the room? I see in the chat, Caitlin said that we talked about having early open discussions with e-board and general members regarding time commitments and availability. That is so important. Like having those conversations early, even before starting something, is really important, as opposed to waiting until a situation happens and then trying to develop norms. I see that Iraj, and let me know if I'm mispronouncing your name, said that one take for me was hearing the priority from everyone about community building within our chapter and how important inclusivity is from an early stage. Yeah, so important. That community building piece is so crucial when we talk about retention for chapters. That feeling of community really sticks with individuals and has a big influencer on if they want to continue on throughout the year with GlobeMed or future years. Yeah. Any other thoughts or reactions based on what was shared, or anything that you're thinking about of how you want to bring back maybe some lessons that y'all talked about from these case studies to your chapter? Yeah, Morgan?
I definitely took away, especially being a member of a smaller chapter, that one of the most important things for making sure that we're not putting too much on our e-board members and our already existing general members is that we really need to amp up recruitment. And it is hard, but luckily we are a school of a lot of aspiring STEM majors and health science, future health science workers. So that's definitely something I want to bring back to my chapter in terms of how to get a hold of those people and bring them to our chapter.
Yeah, I think that is definitely a big consideration when you think about chapter sizes, um, and how that influences different tasks that individuals are holding. So yeah, definitely a time to really lean on the individuals, e-board members and chapter members um, during that time. And I also encourage you to, like, even outside of STEM majors and pre-med majors, um, yeah, reaching out to different majors on campus as well. I think everyone, whether they go into a health related field or not, can really um, take some really good lessons from GlobeMed and apply our anti-oppressive practices and frameworks and whatever they do. Any final thoughts? All right. If there are no more thoughts and reflections, then we will go ahead and wrap up for this evening. Sarah, you can go to our final slide. And so I just want to remind everyone that we do have one more final week of LI programming coming up in September. It'll be the week of September the 13th. Sarah's going to drop in the chat our LI page where you can see our collaboration corners, which we'll be having that week. And there's a variety of topics from thinking about partnership challenges to thinking about collaborating with other chapters to thinking about inclusivity. So yeah, there's a lot to discuss. And I encourage you to tell all your chapter members, past and present, to come to these. And I hope you're able to make them as well. It's really just going to be a space to just talk through what's on everyone's mind, and really, yeah, move from there based on like what challenges are coming up for certain chapters, and then like collectively brainstorming together about ways that we can, yeah, work in those different areas depending on the topic. So we also want to let you know that we're going to be hosting collaboration corners throughout the year. Um, so if you attend a collaboration corner, you're like, wow, this is really cool, I want to lead one. Please let us know by emailing us at info@globemed.org, or reaching out to a chapter coach. And we would be happy to work with you on leading a session. So yeah, I just wanted to put that out there. And even if before the collaboration corner, you see the different topics and you're like, whoa, like I have one that's on my mind. Can I lead that coming up soon? Just let us know. Right. And finally, I hope that you will fill out our feedback survey. And Sarah's going to also be dropping that link in the chat. And I just want to say thank you all for showing up tonight on a Thursday evening, for having these discussions. I hope you took away a lot during these case studies. And again, feel free to share it with your chapter and think through these scenarios moving forward. All right. I hope everyone has a wonderful evening and see you soon. Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank
everyone.
you.